Let's get some royalty-free reggae up on here. Good evening, and welcome back to another live stream edition of Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. Streaming live, family, streaming live. Welcome in. I know it's January 21st, but I'm going to say happy 2026 anyway. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? We're going to learn tonight. That's because that's what we do over here, right? Thank you to those of you that have already joined, and thank you to those of you that will be joining me later. And if you're watching this video on demand, thank you for watching this video on demand. You missed the live stream, but it's cool. It's cool. As long as you get the content and you leave comments if you have any questions, it is all good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up some royalty-free reggae music. I'm going to slow down first because I feel like I'm running over my words. But that could be that whole, impending Chinese Zodiac New Year of the Fire Horse energy. Yeah. It ain't what we're talking about tonight, but this fire horse, this year of the fire horse energy is real, okay? So we're going to see a lot of things being burned away this year, a lot of purification with this year of the fire horse, okay? Horse is rapid, fast, powerful, quick movement, energy, and fire. Y'all know what fire does. A lot of people talk about the destruction power of fire, but you got to look at the other side of it too. Fire purifies. So the earth is going to undergo some rapid change and some rapid purification here in this this Chinese New Year, okay? I told y'all before, it's a whole lot of New Years. Pick one, okay? Pick a New Year. Pick two, pick three. It's a bunch of them, all right? I roll with the Gregorian New Year. I roll with the astrological New Year. I roll with the Northern Hemisphere New Year in the Northern Hemisphere Spring New Year, which is March. I roll with the Southern Hemisphere New Year, which is September. Okay. I roll with the Lionsgate portal, which is the ancient Kemetic New Year that happens in June. That happens July to August. I roll with that New Year. I roll with Rosh Hashanah. I roll with all of them. I'm good with all of them. Happy New Year. 5 times a year over here. Anyway, family, I'm laughing here because we're going to have a good time tonight. You're watching Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. If you are just coming in, what's up, Karen? Thank you for joining. If you're just coming in, tap that like button for me, y'all. Yeah, help your man's out over here. Let me get some royalty-free reggae music playing while y'all are tapping that like button for me, okay? All right? Y'all tap that like button. That's going to get more people to get notified because y'all know YouTube will be tripping on these notifications sometimes. It just depends on your content, y'all. It's got a lot to do with the content that you're dropping. You know what I mean? If I had one of them channels where I was acting ignorant, or if I had a bunch of booty meat, pictures of booty meat on my channel, and don't get me wrong, I ain't judging. I like booty meat just like the other man, just like any other man. I like it too. But I'm just saying, certain channels get prioritized, and other ones they push them down. But that's okay, because I'm gonna keep dropping this truth until the truth is no longer deniable, planetary, worldwide. All right, that's the vibes over here, and that's on deck for 2026. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. I'm excited. I hope y'all excited too. What's up, Hot Shot? Thank you for joining. I hope y'all are excited about what's coming here in 2026. If you ain't excited, you might be on the wrong side of the flip there, my friend. You might be on the wrong side of the flip. But your boy Matt is excited about what's coming. So we're going to be getting started here in just a few minutes. I'm going to let this song play out a little bit more, y'all. Guess what? I got my tea tonight, y'all. That means I get to rock out with y'all. I ain't got to leave. So thank y'all for being here. And again, tap that like button as you're coming in. Because, y'all, we talking about something tonight, okay? We're talking about something. Something what? Something told me to ... We're going to talk about what that something was. And y'all already see it in the title, okay? All right, y'all get excited, man. Get excited. Get pumped up. Y'all know I got a nice appetizer for y'all because that's typically what I do over here. I give y'all an appetizer that's so good that it could really serve as the whole meal. Like, y'all could eat 2 or 3 rounds of them appetizers and not want the main course. You know what I mean? Y'all ever been to one of them restaurants where The appetizers are so good that you like, man, you order another round of them or another round of them, and before you know it, when they bring their main course out, you take 1 or 2 bites and you're like, look, can I get a doggy bag? I'm gonna take the rest of this home. I can't even finish it. The appetizers was that good. That's the vibes over here with Maddie's Rap on Matt D. Talford channel. And I got another channel too, for those of y'all that need some extra spirit guidance. It is MDT 888 Spirit Guide with a John 4 and 24 in the parentheses, okay? That John 4 and 24 in that title serves as both my sword and my shield. And y'all know who I got it for. I ain't giving them no airplay tonight. Well, actually, I am gonna give them some airplay, but it's coming in the appetizer, right? Let me take the music down. We're about 6 minutes in, so that's a good time to get started. Thank y'all for being here, mods. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Hot Shot, once again. Thank you for being a moderator, Hot Shot. And thank you for being an Aquarius. I love that Aquarius energy, especially Aquarius females. Aquarius men I butt heads with sometimes, but Aquarius females, my sisters in Aquarius. Y'all are some of the biggest humanitarians on the planet, okay? So thank you for being here. What's up, San Jose? What's up there, BE Royalty? Fair Use, what is up, family? What's up, y'all? Let me take this music on down. I still got it playing. I'm supposed to be taking it down. I'm gonna take it down right now, y'all. Can y'all tell your man is in a giddy mood right now? I am. All right. All right, y'all. Let's get this party started. Let's get it started. Because when you get the party started, you get the party finished quick too. Unless people don't want to, when the party really good, people don't want to go home. Y'all, some of y'all been in them kind of parties. Not me. I ain't never been to a party I ain't want to leave from. Y'all say something in the chat. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you like me and you don't care how good the party is. When you're ready to go, you're ready to go. That's me. And I'm usually ready to go about 45 minutes to an hour in. I'm like, okay, everybody like, yeah, we having a good time. I'm like, I've eaten. I'm full. Unless there's something to distract me, like a spades game or a dominoes game or something like that, I'm ready to go. Karen, you like that too? You like that too? Karen, Hot Shot, you like that too? Y'all like that too? Man, y'all already know. Y'all know. I'm like, when I'm done, I'm done. Give me some good food. If somebody would now don't challenge me. If you challenge me to a spades game, I'm gonna beat you down. And if I lose, I'm gonna want to play. I'm gonna want to run it back. Now, if you beat me twice, I'm like, all right, it ain't my night. I'm ready to go now. All right. Dominoes the same way. And dominoes is funny, y'all. If y'all play dominoes, type dominoes in the chat. If y'all or type bones, because that's what you really call it when you know what you're doing with them. If y'all have ever played bones, type bones in the chat or put a bones emoji in the chat. Let me tell you something, man. Dominoes is funny because it really depends. See, spades, you got somebody sitting across from you. And I know some people play bid whist, and there's even a few old heads out there that play pinochle. I never learned that. My late in-laws tried to teach me and boss lady how to play pinochle. I never got into it. They loved it. They're like, once you play pinochle, you won't want to play spades again. Once you play bid whist, you won't want to play spades again. I never really got into them other ones. But spades, if you got a good partner, you good. But dominoes, she said, better to enjoy, visit, and keep the good memories. Yeah, that's true. Oh, there's 2 Karens in the chat tonight. Okay, we got 2 of them in there tonight. That's what's up. I'm good. The more the merrier. But yeah. It's like with dominoes, it all depends on who is playing. And it depends. Like if you got somebody really good sitting right across from you in dominoes, then you don't want that person to your left to be sorry. If that person to the left is sorry, they're going to feed points to that person sitting across from you, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. And somehow the last few times I played dominoes with my boys, there was always one of us sitting to my left that didn't know how to play dominoes. And I'm like, this dude sitting across from me is good. How can I beat him when this dude over? I'm trying to play defense. I'm trying to throw some dominoes out there that I know he can't eat no points off. And what is this dude over here? He plays a 5. He wants to get 5 points. And so in him playing 5, he gets the dude across from me 25. How am I going to catch him? Anyway, Fair You said I learned how to play dominoes in Memphis out in the country. Yup. Bones, spades, and hearts. Okay. All right. I got a few card play. I got a few social gamers out there. When I say social gamers, I ain't talking about the modern day video games. And I do those too. I ain't talking about the modern day video games where you playing somebody in another city or your cousin, family member, whatever. I'm talking about the ones where it ain't no distractions, ain't no TV, ain't no controllers in your hand. You got to know what you're doing. You playing checkers, you playing chess, you playing dominoes, you playing spades, something. All right. And backgammon, you know what? So Karen, I tried to learn backgammon back in the day and I never really got into it. What's up, Green Tambourine? Thank you for joining. I never really got into backgammon. Like I didn't really understand it. It was one of them things where you get that checkerboard where when you flip it over, it's got backgammon on the other side. And I didn't know what I was doing with backgammon, y'all, but I would love to learn how to play. So if you can recommend any good like online or app store tutorials or backgammon games, I'd love to. Oh, you like poker too? I like Texas Hold'em. I like Texas Hold'em, Karen. I also like blackjack, but I played Texas Hold'em on a phone or something like that back in the day. I don't play as much anymore, but them cats that be doing it out in Vegas, nah, that's real. I don't mess with them. I don't mess with them. She said, I know how to play a few backgammon games. Hotshot said, I love playing spades. Big Joker, Little Joker, spade playing. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Give me that big Joker, Little Joker, ace. I like it like that. And some people like to play the deuce. The deuce is high. Some people like to play that deuce of spades high, but spades is fun. It's fun. I love it. I love it. So y'all, let me get into tonight's content. We're talking about something told me to do something. And now tonight we're going to talk about what that something is. This is going to be a video like my last live stream where it's I'm showing you some current content, and then we're going to show you a replay of a video that I did a while ago, y'all, because I haven't checked the exact number, but y'all, I got to have close to 500 videos in my YouTube channel right now. And I got some really great content that I did back before I started going live. And I don't expect you guys to drill all the way down through that, but the content is still relevant today. So we're going to be doing a replay, and y'all, that might be a sign of the times that we're in right now. Like y'all ever, I'm going to talk about this guy real quick before I move forward. He's one of my favorite radio personalities. He was kind of one-sided, but it is what it is. He earned the right to be that way. The late, great Joe Madison, aka the Black Eagle. I used to listen to him on Sirius XM. And yeah, listen, why did I bring up Joe Madison real quick? Geez. Oh, that's right. Joe Madison, he's one of many that you see around holiday time when they're taking a vacation, a 1 week or 2 week vacation. They'll just, when you tune into that radio station, you're listening to the best of blah, 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 blah. Yeah. They would do that at the end of the year, right? I feel like we're at the end of something. We're at the end of some cycle. And I'm going to be talking about that in just a minute. But yeah, I feel like we're at the end of a cycle, y'all. And it's not, the Most High hasn't been giving me a whole lot of new content. So I've been led to reshare some of this older content that a lot of you watching me live have not seen, because it was back when I wasn't going live on my YouTube channel. And it's still relevant today. So tonight we're going to be talking about what that something is that you heard. And really what it is one of your spirit guides. In this live stream, we will review a previous lesson on spirit guides and discuss why it is even more important right now in this new era that we have entered to trust the guidance that is coming from within you. Okay. That means what? Two things. Y'all heard me talk about this on this channel before. You have a combined core, your third chakra and your fourth chakra. The third chakra is your masculine core. It sits in the middle of your masculine chakras, 1, 3, and 5. Your fourth chakra is the core. It's a feminine core. It sits in the center of your feminine chakras, 2, 4, and 6. So trust your heart in this era and trust your gut. Your heart is your divine feminine instinct. Everybody has it. And your gut, your AKA your solar plexus, is your divine masculine instinct. Everybody's got divine masculine, divine feminine in you. What level you're vibrating at? Well, that's up to you. That is up to you. That's based on where you want to vibrate and your level of awareness, your level of presence. Am I aware of my emotional state right now? Y'all know for years I've been talking about that upside down cone, which that has your emotional vibrational frequencies. Y'all, I'm so excited about this era that we're entering. I am so excited about this era. So you want to trust your instinct right now. We're going to talk about those voices are, okay? So let us go to man, y'all got some hot stuff going on over there in the comments. I'm gonna come back to them at the end there. We could talk about, we can round this out by talking about some more spades and such and thing and ting, as they say. And if some of y'all play spades on online games, y'all let me know what online game you play. If you're on an iOS device, and I might pop on there and be a partner with you. I might find out if you know how to play spades. I don't know. All right. Don't be mad at your boy. Don't cut me unless you know what you're doing. All right. And I don't mean cut me like cut me. I mean spades talk. Spades talk for the rest of the people watching that have never played spades. All right. When somebody says don't cut me, they ain't talking about nobody cutting with a knife. It's spades talk. All right. Anyway, let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. So let me begin with another segment of why Matt doesn't go to church anymore. Another segment of why Matt doesn't go to church anymore. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Hot Shot said, OMG, Matt is on my toes tonight. My spirit guide is on me, my spirit guide is on my what right now. Yeah. What's up, Nikki? Thank you for joining. Nikki. So, y'all, let me hit y'all with this next installment of why Matt no longer attends church. Why Matt don't go to church anymore. I hope y'all got your mind right for this, because y'all ain't seen nothing like this. I hope you got your mind right. Y'all get ready. And I hope you're not eating. Let me caution you right now. If you are eating something, pause. Okay? Now, let's go there. Y'all, just when I thought I saw something, I see something else. Just when I thought I seen the worst of it, I see something else, y'all. Here we go. Y'all ready? I don't know if you are. We're going to find out, though. Am I shared? I am shared. Okay, here we go. Y'all can already look over the comments on the side there. What does it say? This can't be real. That brother has absolutely no respect for himself. And that would have been the day I would have lost my religion. Y'all can probably already get an idea of what the vibes are. Nikki got the ear emoji out. Okay, here we go, y'all. Here we go.
Oh, the pastor. Watch this.
And this is where most people would not face Jesus anymore. What most people would do is turn away. What I'm telling you is just as he's physically standing here, knowing what's coming. God's saying, can you physically and spiritually and emotionally be able to stand when getting the vision or receiving it might get nasty? I'm going to say it in a point just like that. Receiving vision from God might get nasty.
Y'all pay attention.
You mean, God, I just bought in crazy faith. I just bought my dream car. And now you're going to ask me to sell it back and ride in the hoopty again? Yeah, because the vision I'm about to give you, that might get nasty.
Look at the drool dripping off him, y'all. Look.
And do you hear?
Come on, y'all.
And see the responses of the people?
So y'all didn't just see that video of the pastor?
Okay, y'all. This the kind of foolishness they doing in church now. Now do y'all understand why Matt? Now do y'all understand why Matt doesn't go to church anymore? Y'all see this? Just when you thought the Jamal Bryant dress controversy was bad enough, this is what they're doing now. Now, there's a lot of things y'all can say about that. I'm gonna go here first. Let me pull up a passage of scripture, because somebody is like all messed up in the head. Okay, somebody's all messed up in the head. Let me show y'all something here. I do believe that came from chapter 9. Is it? Yeah. Let me show you what he was misrepresenting. Let's deal with him first. Well, I'll come back to that. What's up, Bella? Bella, you're gonna have to go back and watch what you just missed. I would play it again for you, Bella, if it didn't gross everybody else. You're gonna have to go back and watch that one, Bella. But you might have come in at the right time. Maybe that was your spirit guides. Maybe that was your spirit guides keeping you from watching that. Here we go. Let me show y'all something here. Now y'all know why Matt don't attend. Well, Bella, you know the vibes already, Bella. You already know the vibes, all right? Let's go here. John chapter 9. Let me make sure this is shown on the screen. It is. All right, I'm going to read it as written. Y'all know I'm past the name stuff now. I mean, sometimes I'm going to say Yeshua. Sometimes I'm going to say the Messiah. Sometimes I'm going to say Yahweh Shai. Sometimes I'm going to read it as written and just say Jesus and keep it moving, okay? All right. Tonight, I'm just going to say Jesus and keep it moving. Since that's what they say, since we're talking about the church house, church folk. And as Jesus passed by, this is John chapter 9, verses 1 through 7, okay? And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Now, right there, I can stop y'all right there and tell y'all those two verses alone are just, that's a whole lesson in reincarnation. The reincarnation that the church never told you about, okay? They want you to think that you live one time and then you die and spend eternity in bliss or in torment. And that doesn't match anything else in the universe. Everything comes around. Pluto takes 240 years to come back to a sign, but it's coming back to that sign, all right? This ain't y'all first rodeo, ain't gonna be your last. Let's keep going. Verse 2 again, and his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? How could he sin and be born blind unless it was a sin that he committed in his previous lifetime? Y'all stay with me, but that ain't what we're talking about. Let's keep it going. Verse 3, Jesus answered, neither hath this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. He was talking about having life in his body, okay? Verse 5, as long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground. He spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle. And he anointed the eyes of the blind man that could not even see him spitting on the ground and turning it into a paste. All right. Juxtapose this with what you just watched. Let me read verse 6 again. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle. And he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay and said unto him, now go and wash in the pool of Siloam, okay, which is by interpretation sent. I don't even know what that means, because Siloam is another way of saying shalom. Siloam is another way of saying shalom, which means peace. Y'all hear some people say shalom. Y'all hear some of the brothers and sisters say shalom. Siloam, shalom, okay? Salam, assalamu alaikum, okay? All of that's the same. Verse 7 again, and said unto him, go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sent. Anyway, he sent him to go wash in the pool of Siloam. He went his way, therefore, and washed and came seeing. So what this guy right here did that you just saw on the screen was a humiliation ritual. It was a low vibrational, misrepresented, false doctrinated humiliation ritual. I told y'all we talked about this with the Jake Paul stuff last year. And I told y'all, anytime somebody gets you to do something that you would otherwise not do for whatever reason, and you agree to it, you have just been sacrificed. This man was sacrificed in front of everybody. The pastor sunned him. The pastor spit hak tua. The pastor hak tua in his hand and rubbed it all on that dude's face. Now, 2 people would have been going to the hospital. 2 people, okay? One person would have been going to get tested for an eye infection, and the other person would have been rushed to surgery to get some jaws wired shut or something and some prosthetic teeth made. But not really, because he agreed to it. He agreed to let this man humiliate him. He submitted himself to a low vibrational energy. This is why Matt don't go to church anymore. That foolish meant just like that. The man hopped to it in his hand, and he says a little bit more about it. If you watch the video, the fuller video on, or the longer video on TikTok, he goes into saying, I just gave this man my DNA. I'm gonna spell it using military phonetics. He said he just gave that man his DNA. What kind of Golf Alpha Yankee Sierra Hotel India Tango is that? Y'all spell it out. I'm not going to say it again. What is that? You gave another man your DNA in front of, and everybody, whoa, pastor. Whoa, pastor. His deacon should have stood up and said, who's next? Will there be another? So he took a passage of scripture where the Messiah was giving sight to a man who had been blind since before his birth. The man could not see what the Messiah was doing, okay? They brought him to him. Hey, what was this man? What happened to this man? Why was this man born this way? Who sinned, him or him in another lifetime, or his parents, that he should be born this way? He said neither one. This man came here to be a miracle. Was that man on stage a miracle? He took it and made it about a car. God, I just bought this car, and now you asking me to turn around and sell it and drive my hoopty again? No. Humiliation ritual. He humiliated that man in front of everybody, and that man accepted it. So he made that man is now spiritually bonded to that man unless he asked the Most High to break that spiritual bond. He's spiritually bound to this man because he allowed this. I'm done, y'all. I'm done. So that concludes, I could spend a whole hour on that. That concludes why Matthew doesn't go to church anymore. That's just another example of the foolishness that you see in there and the misrepresentation and the false doctrine. And this is why religion is crumbling. And I keep telling people that the jacks, and y'all remember what that stands for, judgmental Christians, they don't even come for me no more. Because now the stuff is so blatant, they can't even, the demonic energy in the church is so blatant now, they can't even deny it anymore. And then he spit in clay and made a paste of it. He spit in dirt, made a paste of it, and then put it on the man's eyes and said, go and wash in the pool of Siloam, which was an energetic portal when you know you know. It was an energetic healing portal when you know you know. That's the same pool that an angel came once a year and troubled. When you know you know. I'm going to do a whole nother video talking about some very important energy portals around the world and what has happened around. I'm not going to do it today. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I got another one I'm going to talk about with that. There's a few of them in the modern state of 1948 state, that the stolen land of 1948 state. There's a reason why they don't want to give that land up. I told y'all before, they do not want the original inhabitants to go and set foot there in a critical mass of numbers. Why? Because that will then activate ancient powers in them, and that will also activate that land. It's like a motherboard that had the chip removed. You take the main processor off the motherboard, you got no computer. But guess what happens when you take that main processor and plug it back onto that motherboard and give it power? Now you got a computer. Somebody don't want somebody on that land, but they got to get up. But that's a story for another day. I'm going to do a whole separate prophecy video. I actually took some prophecy notes, but I said, you know what? Spirit told me to do that another day. So before I get into tonight's video about spirit guides, I got one more thing I want to ask y'all, and I mentioned this in the intro. Are y'all picking up on this new earth energy? Are y'all picking up on this new earth energy too? Because I am. I'm noticing some stuff out there, y'all. I just driving, I had to go to a home improvement store today and pick up a few things, and they ain't paying me, so I ain't saying what the name of the store is. Y'all use your imagination. I had to go to a home improvement store today to pick up a few things for the house, and as I'm driving back, y'all, my eyes just go to the sky, and I'm like magnetized. My eyes are magnetized to the sky, and I'm detecting new energy, y'all. There's some new earth energy coming in. There's some new earth energy hitting. A lot of y'all are feeling it. This is why a lot of you have been put to sleep. You get up 2 hours after you've been up. You feel like it's time to go to bed. Your bodies are catching up. Your bodies are being slowly upgraded. I heard somebody say this about a year and a half ago. They said when this new change comes, the energy is going to be so powerful that if your body took it all in at once, you couldn't take it. Your body would probably quit. That's why it's coming on in stages. This is why some of you got your energy's fine, and then other days you feel like you got a sack of bricks on your back. There's new earth energy out here, y'all. There's some new earth energy here. All right. And what in the scripture, what did he say? What did John say? He said, behold, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. He wasn't talking about a new heaven as in the place where the holies reside, the place where the Most High and the angels reside. Heaven in its original intent in that context meant sky. the sky, the firmament, where the stars are, where the constellations are, where the sun and the moon are. Okay. If he said, behold, I saw a new heaven and a new earth, that means this whole entire thing is going to be reset. The earth is going to be reset and the sky is going to be reset. That's got me wondering, are we going to see some new constellations that are not there right now? Are the old constellations going away? Is it going to be no more Aries through Pisces? Are there going to be 12 or 13 or however many new constellations out there? We don't know. We do know that when you understand that creation story, especially if you read the book of Enoch, there are the sun, moon, and stars were placed inside of the firmament, which is a translucent, impenetrable barrier between the waters below and the waters above. But that's a story for another day. So I just want to know if y'all are picking up on some of that new earth energy. Let me read y'all comments before I move in, because I asked a question, and thank you to you, Hotshot, because last live stream I was so far behind I didn't realize that you were answering a question. So when I ask y'all a question moving forward, I'm going to be jumping back in here and looking at the comments. Okay. So Karen said Jesus didn't hock a loogie and slap seeing man's eyes. Exactly. Let me go back up. Hotshot said, I'm never going back to church either, Matt. I'm right there with you. Okay. Green Tambourine said, I'm done. Green Tambourine, yuck, even Jesus didn't want it. He must not have had anything to talk about. Receiving a vision from God is not nasty. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that, Green Tambourine. Thank you for saying that. That again is manipulation. That is manipulation. So I laugh at the number of people the number of quote unquote church folk that demonize people in the spiritual community when the sorcery and spell work is 2 times or 3 times as worse in the church house, but it's subtle and covert because the man of God. Y'all heard anything from TD Jakes? I'm just asking for a friend. Okay. All right. Just curious. Anyway, she said, oh, heck no. Exactly. Bella in the house, y'all. Said healing the blind didn't look like that. It didn't, Karen. It did not. You know, I always replay these. Yeah, that was disgusting. LOL. That's right, Bella. She said, no, I don't do it either. That's why. It's too much foolishness going on. I figured out church wasn't for me early in life, 8 years old, knew it in my heart. Nikki, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be 100. I'm going to keep it 100. I loved going to church when there was actual teaching. But even at that age, I knew the difference between somebody teaching and somebody hooping and hollering to get amens. And when it was hooping and hollering with no substance, because I used to read the Bible at an early age. I did. I was a gifted reader at a young age. And now that I understand astrology, that comes with that third house placement. That comes with having a sun in the third house. So I get it now. But yeah, I read the Bible a lot when I was younger, Nikki. And the thing was, I knew when somebody was really coming with that word that I read versus somebody just hooping and hollering to get what would be the equivalent today of likes. Okay, yeah. So, but I would sit there because in that Pentecostal holiness denomination, there was a lot of fear of hell pushed. You better pay attention. You gonna go to hell. Don't be like them people out in the street to do da 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 da. So I sat there, but I'm like, man, I'm only in here because I don't want to go to hell. Anyway, so I'm right there with you. What's up, JoJo? Thank you for joining. You ain't never late, JoJo. Ain't never late, bro. You ain't never late. You're right on time. Yeah, it was nasty. You missed that part, JoJo, but I'm sure you're going to see it in the replay. Said, right, Nikki, just didn't sit right in my spirit. You born a sinner, not worthy, collection plate, greasy pastors, and big hats. Yep. And don't even talk about the tent revivals that I used to see in the Northeast. Those of y'all from the Northeast, I can't speak for another part of the country. I didn't see them so much in the Southeast, but I saw them. They were all over the Northeast. We ain't gonna even talk about the money collecting MLM seeming like tent revivals. Okay, tell you that you cheating God if you can't at least get in a $20 line. And this was back in the late 70s, early 80s, y'all. Like $20 is a lot of money back then. You can't get in a $20 line, you robbing God. They had a $50 line, had a $100 line. They didn't have no $5, $10, and $1 lines. Nah, if all you got is $10, $5, God don't want that. God wants your best. After the other lines thin out and ain't nobody dropping 150 and 20 in there no more. Well, you know what? Bring whatever you got. And then they start telling the story of the lady who gave all she had and da. Man. And then they out of town. All right, now that y'all are done passing the plate, I'll pray for y'all. Man, get out of here. Mismute all that. Yeah, that's what was going on. So you're right there. You are right about that, JoJo. Said like, heck nah. Said Jesus didn't hock a loogie. I saw that one. That's crazy. Green Tambourine lost her dinner. That was a mockery. I can't believe that guy submitted himself to that. I still can't. I'm like, I've watched that thing like 4 times. I'm like, because I'm trying to look and see, what's that little rope thing hanging? And he just rubbed it all. I've been like, look, man, I know we talked. I would have grabbed the mic. Hey, y'all, excuse me. Pastor, I know we talked in the back and you said you was going to pay me $250 to accept this humiliation ritual, but take your money back, man. That was too much. That was too much, Pastor. That was too much. So anyway, so let me keep going. Let's see. No one keeps it this real, Matt. As a kid, I thought it was something wrong with me, like why I got to go to that cult exactly. Green Tambourine said that was a mockery. He was teaching that just because someone has a physical defect doesn't mean that he was in an ancestral curse. That has nothing to do with a car. I wonder if he asked them for money. I don't know. It looks like his regular church, so I'm sure he don't have to ask him for that. I've been fighting the flu since Christmas Day, just trying to get my strength back, y'all. Keep me in your prayers, beloved. Will do, fair use. Will do. You've already beaten it. Just catch up with the result. You've already beaten it. Just catch up with the result. All right. Let's see. They don't want the real coming out to awaken the world. That's correct. That is correct. You know he did, Green. Karen shaking my head. He was probably asking him to sell a luxury car, drive the old one, wonder what kind of car he drives. Exactly. A lot of major planets moving. That is true. I dreamed of an orb last night, very first time. Y'all, I'm just catching up with the comments, and so we can move forward. All I saw today was a ton of chemtrails seeding this coming winter storm. Yo, I'm seeing them too, Karen. I'm seeing them too. People don't think that people do geoengineering, but behold, I saw a new heaven, a new sky, and a new earth. All that's about to get wiped out, and they know it. Wait till my next one. I was gonna do it tonight, but I'm gonna save it for another video. I got some notes here on this prophecy. All right, y'all wait. Here we go. Sometimes I wake up for about 15 minutes and go right back to sleep, and the next thing I know, it's almost noon. That's the feeling, Karen. I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. She said, "Yeah, I don't want to go. I don't want it to go away. I was like sleeping, but not. Got you. I am grateful. Pluto and Saturn are moving out of my sign. Whoo, yeah. That's right. All right, y'all. So let me jump into tonight's representation now. Something told me we're going to talk about the spirit guides, y'all, and I'm going to bring that up right now. Thank y'all for watching, and thank y'all for having some fun and just hanging out tonight. Just hanging out and having some fun. All right. Yeah, this is senioritis. I got senioritis. So those of y'all that, you know, when you were in high school, that senior year in high school, them last 2-3 months of the year, you just like, I'm over it. I've been doing this for how many years? 12 years with 1 through 12, and then you count your kindergarten and your pre-K. If you did that, I did pre-K, kindergarten, and then on it's the first grade. So I was over it by the time 12th grade came around. So anyway, let's share this. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, y'all. Here we go. And my notes say to pick this up at the 2:30 mark. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm there already. Already got it set. Here we go, y'all. And y'all keep the comments coming as you're watching this, and I will go over the comments at the end. Just explaining to you why I got the shades on today. My eyes are very red, okay? They're very red today. And I've about had it with Visine. I don't think that stuff can be good for you over the long haul. So I just said, you know what? With this fluorescent orange hoodie that I'm wearing today, my eyes look more red than they really are. So I got the sunglasses on because I don't want my mom hitting me up talking about, boy, you need to get in the bed. Why are your eyes so red? You staying up late? Mommy, I know you don't talk like that, so don't call me and get on me, okay? All right, y'all. Enough of the pleasantries. Let's get back onto today's topic. Why it's so important for us to listen to the advice or to follow the advice of our spirit guides. Now, for those of you who follow my channel, you know I do a lot of scripture edition Maddie's Rap episodes. And the thing that I wanted to really focus on here in 2022 is to put the spirituality back in the scriptures. Not that it was ever removed, not that it was ever taken out. I just think that it was craftily hidden inside of religion, okay? Religion came in and showed you or got you to look the other way with regards to what the real power in scripture is. The Bible, the Holy Scriptures, whatever you want to call it, the Bible is a spiritual book. It is not a religious book, okay? There are a number of entities around the world that have framed religion out of these scriptures, and they focus on certain things and other things they look past. I'm here to get you to see those things that they look past, because those things are the things that are going to benefit you more than the same rewatched stories that you hear over and over again on Sunday morning and in Wednesday night Bible study. So, spirit guides. What are spirit guides? Some people call them angels. Some people call them ancestors. Some people call them the Most High Himself. Okay, take whatever resonates. Another spirit guide is actually your higher self. So we're not just our consciousness. Okay, they're really like three consciousnesses that make up who we are on the soul level. You have your consciousness, which goes with your physical body, the things that you see, the things that you experience. That's your consciousness. You have a subconscious. Those are your thoughts. Okay, those are your thoughts and your intuitions to a degree. And then you got your superconscious, which is your higher self that already knows the game. Your superconscious is like the greatest part of you. And that's part of your spirit team as well. So you guys can look some of this stuff up. I'm not going to, this video, the intention of this video or the purpose of this video is not to do a deep dive into what spirit guides are. You guys can look that stuff up on your own. Today, I want to tell you why it's so important that you listen to them. Now, what are them? Sometimes we go out about in our lives and we hear things, oh, something told me this, or something told me to do blah, 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 or God told me to do blah, 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 or I'm not saying that God didn't tell you to do it. Listen, I'm a believer just like a lot of you watching this video, okay? I've spent, again, I know I say this ad nauseum, but I spent on average 12 hours a week in church from age 4 to about age 16. And it was probably before age 4 because, you know, when you're a baby, your mom got you in tow on Sunday morning. So I'm sure it was from birth through age 16, but age 4 is about as far back as I can remember vivid details about certain things in my life and experiences, whatever. So however you want to label your spirit guides, however you want to consider them, be it a voice, be it your higher self, your superconscious, your angels, your ancestors, the voice of the Most High. And when you've been spiritual long enough, you know, you start to get you start to pick up on the differences, the subtle differences. You know when the voice of the Most High is talking to you. You know when one of your angels is talking to you, and sometimes the voices of our ancestors that are gone on, like our ancestors that we know, our predecessors, aunts, uncles, parents in some cases, grandparents in other cases, whatever. Their voices are distinct to us. Not that you hear them audibly, but they occur to you. So enough on what the spirit guides are, what make up those spirit guides. Let's break down three reasons why it is so important to listen to our spirit guides. Okay. Reason number one. Each of us, all of us, we all exist in a realm of linear time and can only typically see things sequentially. What does sequentially mean? One after the other, okay? Conversely, our spirit team exists outside of linear time, and therefore they see all the possibilities and outcomes of our decisions.
Do y'all think that individual standing on the stage listened to his spirit guides and saw that possibility and told him not to do it? Y'all put in the chat and tell me in the chat if y'all think his spirit guides told him not to do it. We're talking about the importance of listening to your spirit guides. Why is it important to know what they are, and why is it important to follow their advice? They may keep you from getting human DNA rubbed into your eyes by your pastor. All right, back to the video.
Okay, so that's reason number one that we need to listen to our spirit guides. Now, let me give you an example. Let me break that down a little bit for you. We exist in the realm of linear time. We do. If you're watching this video, you probably can look down at your watch or at the clock on the computer or your phone or tablet or whatever and see what time it is, right? Okay, that's linear time. I'm looking at the clock right now. It says 1:41 p.m. That means in a number of seconds, it's going to be 1:42. Okay, that's linear, sequential. 1 minute after the next, 1 second after the next. Okay, the realm that we came here from, the realm of souls, the realm where our spirit guides exist. There's no time. There's no clocks. There are no second hands, minute hand, hour hands. There's no sun, no moon, none of that. Okay, time does not exist. It's eternity. Okay, so let me give you an example, a real world tangible example on what I mean by that. Raise your hand if you've ever played the board game Monopoly. I have. I dominate Monopoly, by the way. I dominate in it. So you come get it. All right. All right, enough of that. Actually, I got my butt handed to me the last 3 times I played, and one of those 3 times I was the first one out of the game. But it is what it is. Let the chips fall where they may, right on the dice. Anyway, Monopoly. Picture playing Monopoly where you actually do not have a top-down view of the board. Okay? Picture playing Monopoly where you are that car or that shoe or that thimble or the man on the horse. Okay, those are 4 pieces that I use all the time or whatever when somebody doesn't take the piece I want first. Okay, so you know that you're sitting there on go when the game starts. You have to roll the dice, and then whatever the dice falls on, say it falls on 7, you have to move that thing 7 spaces forward. Well, picture playing Monopoly where you don't have that top-down view. All you see is your vehicle and then the space right in front of you. Well, what our spirit team, our spirit guides, they're from their perspective, they see the entire board. Now, picture Monopoly where you actually aren't rolling the dice and getting whatever chance, whatever the dice falls on, but you're actually able to select the number of spaces you want to move. But you can't see the whole board. You only see the space in front of you. So you say, you know what? Let's use a number 7. I just talked about that. I think I want to go forward 7 spaces. Well, that might work early on. But as that game develops, you know that certain people, your opponents, they start to own different spaces, different properties, whatever. And you can only still see that space that's in front of you, okay? Now, I know that this is sort of an abstract example, but stay with me. Your spirit team knows that, okay, they know how much money you have. They know how many times you've been around the board. They know that your purpose is to win. So they're trying to help you win the game. And they know that, your next time around, you've just passed go, you got $200, whatever, added to whatever you got, dished out to you at the beginning of the game. And then you want to move forward. Okay, I think I want to move forward 11 spaces now. Well, guess what? Somebody else owns that spot in that 11 space, and it has hotels on it, okay? Your spirit team is like, don't roll an 11, roll an 8, okay? But you're like, something's telling me to roll an 8, man, but I want to roll an 11. Two scenarios. One, you roll that 8. You say, you know what? I better listen to my gut and roll this 11, all right? Or roll this 8. You roll that 8, boom. You just landed on a property that nobody owns and you got enough money to buy it. Now you can buy that. That's scenario 1. Scenario 2, something telling me to roll this 8, man, but I'm going to roll this 11, man. I'm feeling good about 11. And then you get this occurrence again. Nah, don't roll that 11. Don't roll that 11. Roll an 8. Roll an 8. Nah, man, I don't want to roll an 8. If you had rolled that 8, you would have landed on community. You landed on a spot that you could own or buy, or you might have landed on community chest. Your spirit team knows the next card that's up on that community chest. So you land, if you had rolled an 8, you would have landed on community chest, okay? Or they might give you a choice. Say 8 is a spot that you want to buy, but they also say, well, you know what? If you don't want to roll an 8, roll a 7. But you stuck on 11. You had rolled that 7, you got the community chest card. Guess what? That community chest card says collect this amount of money from every player on the board. But you missed out on your blessing because you didn't listen to your spirit team. Your spirit team's trying to help you win the game, all right? So that's just one example using the game of Monopoly, all right? Your spirit team exists in a realm outside of linear time. When you're in linear time, you only know maybe one move ahead. People say, well, I'm planning 1 move, I'm planning 2, I'm planning 3, 4, 5 moves in advance. Yeah, that's good to do. But we've all heard the joke, show God, or the Most High, however you want to label it, show God your plans and he'll laugh at you, right? So I'm not saying that you shouldn't plan, but what I'm saying is sometimes you think you know what you're trying to do or trying to get into, and something is telling you otherwise. Something telling you either don't do this and you decide you want to do it, or something says do this and you decide you don't want to do it. And it's like, oh man, I should have listened. How many times have we said, man, I should have listened to my mind? It wasn't your mind, it was your spirit team. It was your spirit team, okay? It was your spirit team. All right, now, so let's move on to the second example. Remember, the importance of following the advice of our spirit guides. Number 1, we exist in a realm of linear time and can only see things sequentially. Our spirit team, they can see the whole of everything. And I'm going to get more on that when I get to point number 3. So that was point number 1. We exist in linear time. Our spirit team exists outside of linear time, and they can see all possibilities. All right. I think I gave away number 3. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2, incarnation, or life as we know it, is all about purpose, not time, because time doesn't exist. All right. Time is simply an odometer and a speedometer that goes with this vehicle or these bodies. Okay. Time allows us to gauge the speed at which we move through this life. And it also allows us to gauge, it is also a gauge that tells us how many miles we have on this vehicle. How old are you? That's how many miles you got on the vehicle. Okay. Now, let me break this down a little bit. So again, point number 2, incarnation is all about purpose. Okay. Life. Okay. We call it incarnation, or you can call it life. I like incarnation because we incarnate multiple times. Sometimes people are still in this closed-minded religious view of life that says you live one time and then you spend eternity in heaven or hell. That is so not true. That is so not true. It was documented in times of old, and the religious establishment decided, hey, we want to take this out because if people knew that they live forever or they die and come back again, then we won't be able to control their behavior, and they'll do whatever they want to do, or they may challenge our authority. All right. I got a book recommendation for you guys. I'll talk about at the end of this video. It is not my book. I'll tell you about it at the end of this video, but it kind of supports what we're talking about here, particularly in chapter 3. And I'll give you a little bit of that. Okay. So getting back to incarnation and the fact that time does not exist, and we are here for purpose, not time. Now, well, Matt, you just said that, time is an odometer that allows us to gauge how many miles we have in this vehicle. Well, everybody's going to die at some point, right? Right. That is correct. Okay. But the key is we don't know when. All right. So to give you the best example, let me explain a concept to you that you may or may not have heard of. It's called soul contracts. Soul contracts. Okay. Let me develop that a little bit. Let me give you, because you may not have heard of soul contracts. Let me walk it back and break it down. Let me break those into smaller morsels for you. Okay. School, high school. Now, I can't speak for how school works in other countries. I can only speak for the United States of America, where I grew up. Okay. You know that when you're in high school, middle school, whatever, you get to choose. There are certain classes that are prerequisites that you have to take based on the grade that you're in or the grade that you're going to next year. But then there are other classes that you can choose to say, okay, well, this is how I want to fill out my school day or my school year. They're called electives. Okay. So there are things that you have to do. And then there are electives, things that you get to do. Okay. Things that you have to do, prerequisites, and things that you get to do, electives. All right. You choose those electives heading into the next school year. So before you get into the next school year, at the end of the current school year, you say, okay, I want to sign up for me, for example, Spanish 1. And I want to take a class in world history. I don't have to take it for my prerequisite, but I want to take a class in world history. And let's see, chorus is not necessary, but I want to take chorus because I like to sing. And then let's see, I also want to take weightlifting because, I want to put on some more muscle. All right. Those are 4 electives that I've chosen for the next year. All right. So when I show up the next year, this is my schedule. Soul contracts works the same way. Your soul exists in the realm of souls, as I like to call it, or it exists outside of time. So when you check out of this vehicle and you check in, you get graded on how you performed in that vehicle that you just left. Okay. That end of the year report card. Okay. There are any classes that you pass. Hey, good job. You passed that. This is what you had to do and you did it. This is what you signed up to do and you knocked that out too. Okay. Now, I won't talk about the karma piece because if you develop any karma during that school year, then you got to pay that karma on that next school year. All right. We're not going to talk about that. Talking about soul contracts. All right. And I'm going to give you guys a link to a video that I saw in January of 2021 that actually helped me to understand this because I had never heard of the concept prior to that. After I watched that video, it made so much sense to me. So your soul. Now you're like, okay, well, what do I want to do in my next lifetime? You get to choose so many, your soul chooses so many aspects of what your next existence is going to look like. And then you jump into it. Okay. You jump into it when you incarnate. Okay. So you have a purpose. You have a purpose. Now, I've got to imagine or think that part of that includes the amount of time you want to spend in that vehicle. All right, the amount of time. So guess what? When you're born, so your memory of what you signed up for, whatever, is erased. You start fresh. You're a baby, whatever. You come in knowing nothing, though your soul remembers certain things. Your soul remembers certain things. This is why babies, these babies come out. They're like, man, this kid is a maestro, can play the piano, whatever. 3-4 years old. How do they do that? Soul memory. Soul memory. They did it before. They did it before. Nobody taught them how to play. They did it before. Okay. Some people say that this person was gifted. This person was gifted. They were gifted over lifetimes of learning how to do this. And it's something they love to do and they're good at. So their soul remembers. That's a little body there, but the soul is bigger than that body, right? Anyway, so you don't know how much time you got, but your spirit guides do. They know because they're in the realm where that contract is. They're able to look at that contract and say, oh man, they're supposed to leave the earth at age blah, blah, blah. And they haven't done this yet. Let's make sure they do this. All right. So that's number 2. Incarnation is about purpose. So their job is your spirit guides are there to help you achieve your purpose. All right. Now, they have a job to do just like you do. They have a job to do just like you do. So if your spirit guides they're getting graded on, did they help you or did they not help you? That's part of it too. This thing is so big, y'all. And they only teach us what they want us to know to be servants to somebody else's agenda or whatever. We weren't put here to just, this is what's so funny. This goes back to, this as an aside, but this goes back to an explanation I gave to someone on why I left a 6-figure job in 2013 in corporate America to be an author. Okay. And my answer was this. I said, well, you can either be a servant to man or you can be a servant to mankind. I had served a man, different men, different corporations, okay, different straw men, if you understand that terminology. I had served different straw men for 20 plus years. And I'm like, I don't have it in me to do this anymore. There's something else I was created to do. And this does not feel like it. It doesn't feel like me going in, swiping my badge, going to work, putting in, knocking out whatever the task list is, and, getting a paycheck on the 15th and the last day of the month. Sizable paycheck, but getting a paycheck on the 15th and the last day of the month. I can't sit behind these walls and look out that window. There's something outside that window that I'm supposed to be doing. All right. So I explained that is you can either be a servant to man or you can be a servant to mankind. Okay. That was just an example, just an aside. So our spirit guides know how much time we're going to be here based on whatever is in our contract. How much time were we assigned here or did you sign up for? However you want to look at it, however it resonates. All right. So they have a job to do, and their job is to help us achieve that mission. It's like coaches on the field. That coach ain't throwing those passes. That coach ain't doing those that coach ain't pass blocking. He ain't run blocking. That coach ain't the point guard. He's not the center, but that coach has got a job to do. That coach has got to help the ownership. Ownership, if you want to talk about the Most High, let's look at it in those terms. Ownership wants a championship, all right, for the whole organization, all right? So they go out and get the best players they can get, but they also get the best coaches. That coach has a job to do. Are you coaching these people to the best of their ability so that they can win? And then number 2, those players have the job to do. Are you executing based on what the coaching staff is telling you to do? If you're losing the game, but you're not following the instructions of the coaching staff, you either are going to get benched or traded. And you're losing, and it's your fault because you're not listening to the coaches. Now, if the coaches aren't doing their job and you're doing the best you can, then the coaches got to get dealt with by ownership. Those coaches are your spirit team. So their job is to help you win. They know how much time you're going to be here. So incarnation, all right, is about purpose. What is the purpose? What did I come here for? Incarnation is not about time in and of itself. Hey, I just came to show up on earth until I was 90, blah, 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 and then go. That makes no sense. Like, what did you come here to do? Time is a part of that contract, but you are here for purpose, not time. Okay. All right. So that's number 2. Incarnation is about purpose, or life is about purpose. It's not about time. And last but not least, number 3, existence can best be, in my opinion, can be best illustrated as a flow chart. A flow chart. Who's seen a flow chart before? You got all these geometric shapes. You got circles, you got squares, you got triangles, whatever. They got different statements in them. A lot of them are what I like to call. I went to school to be a programmer, even though I didn't do it professionally. I went to tech school after I got out of the Army, and wanted to. Actually, I was originally a little about me. I was originally going to school to be a high school English teacher, and I decided that I wanted to go a different route and earn a little bit more money. There's a story about that. It's in my book, From Fear to Faith: The Survivor Story. In the earlier chapters, I explain that stuff. I won't get into detail about it, but anyway, part of programming is writing out a flow chart before you start to code. The flow chart is all about how is this program supposed to flow, and what is the purpose of this program? The purpose is paramount. What is the purpose? That's the overarching umbrella for the flow chart. What is the purpose? That's the title. What is the purpose of this program? All right. And then at the bottom of that is the success of the program. Okay, boom. We achieved the purpose that we set out for. We achieved the purpose for which this program was written. Okay. In between that are a series of steps that need to be carried out in order to get you from the top. I should put a picture of a flow chart on the screen here to the bottom, which is completion. All right. Now, flow charts, keep in mind, keep this in mind, because this is important. Flow charts are not about time. They are about purpose and achievement of a desired outcome. So you don't put a flow chart up that has a time frame on it. A flow chart is all about what are we supposed to, what are we seeking, what are we setting out to do? How are we going to get there? And here's what success looks like. That's all a flow chart is. Existence, to me, that's the best example or the best analogy I can give you for existence. All right. So let's talk about how flow charts work. Flow charts start here at the top. This is the overall purpose of this program. Flow charts go with programs. Okay. This is the overall purpose of this program. Now, this program, the first step one is this. All right. When we get to step one, did we get this or do we get this? If the answer to that question is yes, we did get this, then you progress down to the next step. If the answer is no, we didn't get that, then you got to go back and do something else again. And that flow chart continues to move like that through the bottom. When you hit success in one phase or one step, then you progress to the next. If you do not hit success, you got to loop and go back up again and figure out, okay, well, why didn't we hit success? Because we can't get to the next step until we successfully achieve this piece of it. All right. Now, again, going back to the birth example, we don't always know what we came here to do at birth. Sometimes you got to move through life and you're already programmed. Because your soul knows what you came here to do. Your consciousness, it's almost like the whole purpose of our being here is to align our consciousness with our higher selves, which is our soul. Okay. Aligning our consciousness with our soul. Once you can make that connection and you're like, I know what I'm here to do now. Life gets so much easier. All right. Some people think it gets more difficult. It doesn't. It gets easier because now you know why you're here and you can properly set that course. So for a little bit of time in our lives, it's like we're on autopilot. But then something happens. It happens in a lot of people's lives where it hits you what you're supposed to be doing. And then you have to make that decision. Do I want to do this or no? Oh man, what are people? Sometimes people factor in, well, what are they going to say about me if I do this? Well, what are they going to say about Matt if he leaves a 6-figure job to be an unknown author who's not even represented? He didn't even sign with a big publishing company or didn't even go down that route. He just says, you know what? Somehow my soul knows that this is what I'm supposed to do. And I think I got everything I need to do it. Let me go. It's not about the money. It's not about the time. It's about achieving the purpose for which I was sent here to do. When I published From Fear to Faith: The Survivor Story, I said to myself, if one person reads this book and gets inspired, and it triggers something, it triggers a mindset shift for them that saves their life. And in saving their life, they save their families. They sometimes by your surviving, you are saving an entire line behind you. You're saving an entire family unit just by your being there. Okay. This is why you can't give up on life, because you don't know who's relying on you to win. You don't know who's relying on you to take that guide on and up that hill and plant it there. All right. You don't know who's relying on you to take that small beacon of light and light a huge torch that provides light for everybody. All right. So I said to myself, if one person reads this book and it triggers a mindset shift that says, hey, wait a minute, if that guy can do it, and this was his circumstance, then I can do it too. That's why I published From Fear to Faith, a Survivor Story. So it didn't matter to me if I sold 1 million copies or if I only sold 1 copy with it, or gave it away to that one person that could pick that ball up and run with it. And maybe show somebody else how he was able to overcome, because, hey, I read this guy's story. He did it. He made me believe that I could do it. I did it. You can do it too. And it may not even be about, overcoming a physical condition. It might spark him on something else to overcome or show somebody how to win. So that's what it's about. All right. So that was my purpose. I was like, I don't care about this 6-figure job no more. I don't care about the expense account. I don't care about the corporate credit card. I don't care about any of that stuff anymore. That's not what I came here to do. All right. Flowchart. Now, watch this. And then I'm gonna illustrate this to you guys, and then I'm gonna get off of here. So remember what I said. If you don't do something in a flowchart, or if something doesn't work a certain way, you cannot progress to the next step, which leads you to the next step, which leads you to the next step, which leads you to victory. You can't progress to one step unless you meet a certain set of conditions. All right. You don't meet that set of conditions, you got to go back and do something again. But guess what? Your spirit team, they know what the flow chart is. They know what the mission is. They know what success looks like. So they're there to help guide you from one step to the next step, to the next stage, to the next stage, to victory. All right. Now, going back to the example in number 2, they also know how long you're going to be here. Your higher self knows how long you're going to be here. So they know that with each time that you have to reset and go back, how many more times is he going to get to do this? How many more times is she going to get to do this? Worst case scenario, you don't make it to the achievement of your mission. And then you leave here because your time expired on your contract. Well, guess what? When it's time to get graded, did you accomplish your mission? Well, no, I didn't. Okay, let's go talk to your spirit team. Why didn't they accomplish their mission? Well, we were telling them. Here's the record. Here's the record of us telling them to do this, and they were doing what they wanted to do. Okay, so it's not on you, spirit team. Hey, good job. You know what? Sally Mae, or Lil Johnny, you don't get to go to the next grade. Your soul does not get to ascend, all right? You can use the school model again. Our souls go through an eternal process of ascension. That's what it's all about. Ascension, moving from one to the next, okay? Sorry, you don't get to pick a new set of classes and circumstances. You got to go back and do this one again. Oh, and by the way, looks like right here you did this to this person and caused them pain or whatever, or you created karma. You created bad karma. Everybody has karma, either good or bad. You created bad karma because you went off script and it caused damage or pain to a situation. So you're going to have to pay for that karma, by the way, and you still got to go back and redo this thing again. So, I say this in a lot of my videos. Go watch that movie, Edge of Tomorrow. 2014. It was came out in 2014, starring Tom Cruise. Go watch that movie, Edge of Tomorrow. It's a great illustration of what I'm talking about here. So now you got to go back and do that same flow chart again. One thing I know about Matt D. Talford is I don't like to do anything twice, unless it's fun, But when it comes to work, this is why during my career working for other people, I never ever liked jobs that were non-salary. Why do I say that? Because a salary positions typically come with projects. All right. I get to knock out a project. I get to achieve something. I get to knock out a project. I'm not at work for a set amount of time. I'm at work to do something. All right. Because now I'm challenging myself. Okay, how much time does this typically take? This typically takes about 6.5 hours. All right, I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm gonna see if I can knock it out in 5.5 or 4 hours. That's how I roll, because I want the rest of my time to play. I work hard so I can play. All right. I know some people, work is play for them. I'm not gonna talk about a certain lady who's probably watching this video right now. She knows who she is. But for some people, work is play. Nah, not for me. Work is something I want to know. I won't eat. If I'm in the middle of knocking something out, I won't eat. I got to get it done.
I don't care if I'm hungry. I'm not stopping, because when I stop to eat, eating is my time. Eating, I eat, yeah, of course you got to eat for nourishment, but I enjoy eating, and I like to relax when I'm eating, and I don't like to be rushed. So I'd rather finish my work and not even eat until my work's done. That's how I'm built. That's how I'm built. So I never did jobs where I had to clock in. It's like, okay, my first job out of the military was working as the ER nurse tech. There from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Dang, man, I got to be here for 8 hours doing the same thing every day, 5 days a week. Every other weekend I'm here doing the same tasks. Man, get 30 minutes for lunch. It's just, if there's an emergency situation going on, I get that 30 minutes for lunch, or I may have to take it on the back end or whatever. Man, I hated clocking in. Now, some people like clocking in. Some people like being there for a certain hour. They like, okay, man, I got to be here 8 hours. Maybe they'll let me work an hour overtime, 2 hours overtime. That's not me, to each his own. Okay. So anyway, enough about me. Getting back to my point, projects. If you don't knock out that flow chart, you got to go and do that again. Your spirit guides, your spirit team, they're here to help you get through that and progress through that so that you get to ascend. All right. So I just gave it to you. 3 powerful reasons why you need to listen to your spirit guides. Why it's so important for us to follow their advice. Number 1, because we exist in a realm of linear time. All right. Sequential, one thing after the next. We're in the forest and we see one tree, one tree, one tree. Okay, keep going through the forest till you get out. Okay, well, there's another tree. There's another tree. Your spirit guides, they see the whole forest. They're like, nah, go left here. Go left. If you keep going straight in 200 meters, you're going to hit a ravine with some water down in the bottom of it. Don't even go there. That's going to take you time. You ain't even got to deal with that. Just go left, go around here. There's a swing bridge. You can walk across, cut your time in half. Boom. Listen to your spirit guides. We exist in a realm of linear time, so we can only, some of us think that we're thinking 3 and 4 moves ahead, but it's still linear. It's still linear. Your spirit teams, your spirit team, your higher self, the Most High, they all see the entire board. Okay, they see everything. They see all of the possibilities. All right, you can do it the easy way by following them. Or you can do it the hard way, where you get scuffed up, beat up, scraped up, and then got to come right back to where they told you to go left, but you went right. Now you're back there. Now which way you gonna go? You gonna go left now? Okay, good. We could have done this a long time ago. I got to sit here and wait on you now. You don't know what they're doing in the spirit realm. They might want to go chill. There might be an ethereal beach somewhere that they're trying to get to, and they trying to get you to help them get there faster, but you bull jiving. All right. Number 1, we exist in a realm of linear time. They do not. They see all of the possibilities, and their job is to guide you in the best possible possibility to get the best outcome, to get the outcome that you are contracted for. Number 2, all right? Incarnation is about purpose, all right? Soul contracts. I'm going to put that link in the bottom, all right? The video titled Soul Contracts, The Life We Chose Before Birth, all right? So number 2, incarnation or life is all about purpose. It's not about time, okay? Your spirit guides are here to help you to achieve your purpose in a set amount of time that you're assigned to be here. All right. In a set amount of time that you're assigned to be here. All right. Now, everybody's time is different. Everybody's time is different. Okay. This is one of the reasons why I talked about in another video. One of the reasons why the Messiah came to earth to be a sacrifice. Some people, there are different theologies out there, stuff like that. I do believe in the story of the man they call Christ. I like to call him the Messiah, okay? The messenger. I like to call him the Messiah, okay? I talk about this a lot, okay? One of the reasons for the death and subsequent resurrection was to illustrate that you die and then you live again. It was an illustration of a spiritual principle, an energetic principle, an ethereal principle, okay? Your soul is just a vehicle. This is what he was talking about when he said, if you destroy the temple, I'll build it again in 3 days. They didn't know what he's talking about. He didn't point to himself when he said temple. He said, you destroy this temple, I'll build it again in 3 days. He's probably standing in front of the temple when he said that, just to throw him off a little bit, throw him off the scent. It's like, man, this man, he ain't working with a full deck of cards. It took how many years and how many men to build this temple? You gonna build it in 3 days if it gets destroyed? Man, get out of here. I got 2 or 3 videos talking about that, breaking that down. All right. But no, he came to die and be resurrected to illustrate that you live again. Otherwise, why even be resurrected if he was just supposed to be a sacrifice? When the sacrifice is killed,
the purpose for the sacrifice is fulfilled. Why bring it back? Unless you're trying to illustrate another point. Hey, I just took you guys around the block to get you to the house next door. That's what I do. Number three, third reason, existence is a flow chart. Existence can best be illustrated by a flow chart. You're here to serve a purpose. All right. When you move, when you fulfill one sub purpose, you get to go to the next sub purpose. Each of these sub purposes stack to get you to the bottom of which is the fulfillment of whatever that higher level purpose was. So hopefully I've got a flow chart on the screen by the time I upload this video, and you guys can kind of see an example of that. But that's it. That's it. So in summary, in closing, we are not here for time. We are only here for purpose. And our spirit guides are here to help us. They exist to help us achieve our purpose. All right. So why don't we help them by doing what they're trying to tell us to do? All right. They're here for our highest and best good. We got to listen to them. All right. I gave you the examples. Hopefully you guys like this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe, talk about it in the comments. All right. Everybody's got something to offer. Talk about it in the comments. Listen, guys, I'm an award-winning author, and I love it when people read what I wrote. All right, y'all. That's I'm gonna stop it there. All right. Let's go back. And how do I get that off? There we go. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. Nikki said she loved the video. Thank y'all. So that's what I wanted to hit y'all with tonight. That's a replay of an old video, like I said, that I did back in 2022, and it is really, really super important to listen to your spirit guides. So now you guys know when that small voice that you hear that says, do this or don't do that. Remember, that's your spirit guides trying to now sometimes there could be other voices that throw you off too. You got to pray for that spirit of discernment. We talked about prayer in the last live stream I did, which is activation. Activate that. We're not begging and pleading. We activate that spirit of discernment. We ask the Holy Spirit to give us wisdom concerning a matter so that we know the truth. Okay. And then you're able to distinguish between what is the voice of one of your spirit guides. Could be your higher self. It could be one of your ancestors. Could be the Most High. Okay. Want somebody in your spirit team that's trying to get you across the finish line. Okay. Listen, when you watch enough of those NDE videos, near death experience, what you find out is that a lot of the people that share those experiences, they will tell you that, especially if you ever get to listen to someone who had a past life regression where they actually worked with a hypnotist or hypnotherapist that could take them into that pre-life planning stage. A lot of the spirit guides that you guys have, you chose. You're like, hey, it's like a boxer. Think about it. Boxing is an individual sport. Life, even though you have team members that you meet up with in life that help you. Some of you have joint purposes. Some of the people you meet up with are there to help push you along in your journey, and you're there to help push them along in their journey. What's the old saying? We meet people for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. That rings true, and it doesn't matter when you meet them. You can meet them early in life. You can meet them later in life, but you meet people for a reason, season, or a lifetime. And the thing is, sometimes these people are there to help you because you pre-planned with them before you got here. Said, hey, I'm going to meet you at such and such age. We're going to meet up, and I'm gonna help you do this, and you're going to help me do this, and blase, blase, blah. That's kind of how that works. Well, guess what? Getting back to the sports analogy, boxing is an individual sport, but each boxer has a team, and that boxer selects a manager that he feels can help him further his career to get him a championship. He's going to go and find him a world-class trainer, a world-class cut man in case he gets cut in a fight. All of that. He's going to get a nutritionist. He's going to build the team that he feels like can help him succeed. A lot of that happens for us before we arrive here as well. Okay, but different people have different purposes, and a lot of y'all that are considered to be these special people that came here to do these special things. I gave the analogy about the prerequisites versus electives. A lot of times when you're so quote unquote chosen, you don't get a whole lot of electives. You got to think about the Messiah when he came here. Y'all think he had a whole lot of electives? No, he came here to do something super important. So he didn't have time to perhaps go off and go do the fun stuff that quote unquote everybody else gets to do. That was a challenge for me early on in my life, because I used to look and be like, well, even as an adult, y'all, even as an adult and working in corporate America and seeing some of these other people do these cool things, and I'm like, man, this person went here, they did this, and you still feel like, you know what, I would do that, but I can't do that because I'm on this path right here. And even before you have that spiritual awakening, you just have this inner sense that you're on a destined path and there's something different that you're supposed to be doing. And a lot of that you learn through life, because some of the things that you think you want to do, and I know I'm talking to somebody when I say this right here, some of the things that you think you want to do, every time you go off and try to go do something that the boys are doing or ladies that your girls are doing, somehow the spirit always messes it up for you to where you don't get to do what they wanted to do, even though you want to. Something always gets messed up. You get a flat tire or something happens and you have to get a change of plans, or, well, I was going to go do this. I wanted to do this, but this thing came up. So that is your spirit team putting obstacles in your way to keep you on your path. That flat tire that you got, or you wanted to go out and do this thing, and then you got the worst rain, thunderstorm, hail, tornado watches, tornado warnings, all of this stuff coming. All of that stuff was part of your spirit team making sure that you didn't go off script. Some of y'all have these super important purposes for which you incarnated. Remember that scripture I read that said, I believe it's Isaiah. Was it Isaiah the 5th chapter, Isaiah the 4th chapter, where I was explaining to you guys that what your lot is going to look like when this earth flips, when this time that we're in, this time paradigm that we're in flips. Was that the 4th chapter of Isaiah? No, it wasn't. It was I think it was the Isaiah, was it the 49th chapter? Let me look it up real quick. Let me look it up. I will satisfy the, let me look up this word right here, satiate, because that was in that passage of scripture. Hang on, y'all. Satiate. Proverbs show form more like this. Jeremiah. It was Jeremiah. Jeremiah the 31st. Jeremiah 31st chapter. That's where it was. Most of the prophecy I really vibe with strong is in either Isaiah or Jeremiah. 31st chapter. Okay. Where is it? Chapter 14. Let me bring this on the screen real quick. This is in context. So let me bring this on the screen as we wrap up, y'all. Let's see. Share screen. Isaiah 31:14. And I will satiate the soul of the priests with fatness, and my people shall be satisfied with my goodness, saith the Lord. That is what happens when all of this stuff goes down and everything flips, okay? And the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Why does he point out that he's going to satisfy or satiate the soul of the priests with the fatness? The priests are those that are chosen. They're endowed with certain gifts because those gifts are necessary for the tasks that they were sent here to do. Jeremiah chapter 1, verses 4 and 5, he said, I knew you before I formed you in the womb, and I sanctified you, set you aside, and made you and ordered that you be a prophet unto the nations. Okay, so some of y'all came here for service, to serve a divine purpose. They are not if you came here to serve a divine purpose, your spirit team is not going to let you fail. And it may be painful. Your path may be painful. And if it is painful, it's painful because maybe you are not in alignment. Remember what I was saying in that last video? Everything is about alignment. Maybe your path is painful because you are out of alignment with your higher self. Your higher self is trying to bring your lower self into alignment with your purpose. And because you want to go off script, they're going to make it painful to get you back on tasks. When you have he said, and Isaiah 55:11 ties you to that. Isaiah 55:11 ties you to that. This is your spirit team. This is your spirit team. Let me go there. Isaiah 55:11 is going to tie you to that. Why? Why is my path painful? Why was I chosen? Why don't I get to go out here and have the fun that all my boys are having? You're female. Why can't you go out here and have the fun that all your girls are having? It's right here. Isaiah 55:11. Let me share it to the screen. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. So if there's a word on your life before you're born, it says you are going into the earth realm to fulfill this task specifically for the Most High. Some of y'all came here to break ancestral patterns that have kept your lineage down. Some of y'all came here to free up your whole family lineage. If you're a male, people that I've done private natal chart readings for, I don't do them anymore, but people that I've done private natal chart readings for before, they know that I spent a lot of time focusing on that Pluto placement. Pluto is that generational planet. Okay, it changes signs. It takes a whole revolution to come back to its original sign. It takes about 240 years. Okay, that's a generational planet. Your Pluto placement, and based on whether you're a male or female, your Pluto placement, the sign in the house, the sign, not so much the sign, but the house tells you what pattern you came here to break for your ancestral lineage, for your maternal lineage if you're a female, for your paternal lineage if you're a male. You came here to break a pattern. Some of y'all did. Some of you, not everybody's chosen. Now, I know that Pluto placement, not everybody's going to do it. But guess what? Some of y'all were anointed. When I say anointed, that means chosen. I don't mean no religious or church sense of the word. Some of you all were anointed, aka selected by the Most High to perform a task based on the skills that he put inside of you. You are going in here to do this. You forgot it. But guess what? Your spirit team ain't going to let you. Your spirit team didn't forget. So you have to, if you are chosen, if you're on that chosen path, you're not going to get to necessarily have the fun that everybody else has in life. But guess what? Here's where you're going to get it. Here's where you're going to get yours right here. Here's where you're going to get yours right here. So don't worry about the fun that it looks like you can have, okay? Because you're going to get yours right here. I will satiate the soul of the priest with fatness. That means fat is extra. Fat is extra. Some of y'all that's trying to pack that, fellas. I ain't gonna say nothing to the ladies because I don't want y'all swinging on me, all right? But fellas, some of y'all that's trying to pack that extra into their pants that you bought last year that fit really well, and now you're trying to pack that extra in. That's the fatness. He said, I'm gonna satisfy the soul. Your solar energy, your soul energy. Your soul's gonna be satisfied with the fatness. Why? Because you sacrificed a little bit of fun, or maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 decades of fun to do the work for which you were commissioned. And it's not easy work. So the universe ain't balanced if you don't get that fatness for achieving the mission. And if it's a high vibrational, high value, high importancy purpose for which you were born and sent into this plane, you are going to do it. You are going to do it. Yes, you are. What painful or not, you're going to do it. Here's why. Here's why right here. Because his word does not return to him void. So if he says Matthew is going to go in here and he's going to get on a public platform, it's in my 10th house. I got an intercepted 10th house. I tried to hide, didn't want to do it in another lifetime. Now I came here. I don't have a choice this time. Matt likes to kind of stay out of the public eye. You know what they did? They stuck Leo in my 10th house behind the Cancer. Behind Cancer. 10th house Cancer with Leo intercepted. That means you know what? You're going to be in the spotlight in the house of the public. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing to whereto I sent it. So you know what that means? That means somebody watching this video, now you have the explanation to why some things were difficult or a challenge for you. It's because you perhaps wanted to go and quote have fun, quote unquote have fun like everybody else was. Guess what? You don't get to. They didn't come in here on your mission. Okay. If you are, God, I hate to use the military anymore because it's used at the will of the elite or the wealthy, but I'm gonna use it anyway. Okay. I'm gonna use it anyway. If they spend money giving you the training of an elite soldier or an elite sailor or Navy SEAL or something like that, you think they're gonna go and let you mop floors on a ship? No, you don't get to mop floors. You were selected. You went through, you passed all of the prerequisites, the requirements. You are Navy SEAL now. You're never going to swab anybody's deck. You're not going to do that. You're not going to be flipping burgers in anybody's galley. You might flip burgers when you at your own house, but you ain't flipping on to serve to the other sailors. You came here to do a high value mission. That's the same way that the Most High does with the chosen ones. But guess what? When it comes to your spirit guides, you got to listen to them. Because if you're chosen, your path is going to be, the less you listen to them, the more painful your path is going to be. Because of Isaiah 55:11, you won't get it done. Jonah, ask Jonah. Jonah was sent. He was the prophet that was sent to preach to them in Nineveh. He didn't want to go. He didn't want to go because he knew they were killing prophets. He didn't want to go because he knew they were killing prophets. Why are you sending me? You sending me to my death? Why? Nah, I'm gonna go on this vacation over here. I'm gonna take this vacation. I'm gonna go to this other place. I ain't going to Nineveh. I'm gonna go take this vacay over here. What happened? The sea started rolling. Almost flipped the ship over. He said, man, ain't no sense in all y'all dying because I'm on this ship. Y'all throw me overboard. It's me. Y'all throw me overboard. The sea's gonna calm as soon as I get out of the ship. It's me. He was that tapped in to where he knew it was him. But guess what? Because of Isaiah 55:11, he wasn't going to drown. Because of Isaiah 55:11, he wasn't going to be eaten by a large fish. He was swallowed by a large fish that was more than likely a mammalian whale. Okay? No gills. He's got to get an air pocket. Whales inhale oxygen and they hold it forever and they go and dive until they're ready to come up. They've used all that oxygen. They're ready to come up and get some more. See how that works? Now, if you hadn't been sent here on any specific mission or whatever like that, then you got more flexibility. It's like that person in school that's walking that elite path so they can get to, they already got it laid out for them. Their parents know, hey, I'm a doctor. His daddy was a doctor. His mom's a doctor. You're going to be a doctor too. These are the classes you're going to take. You don't get to go and take basket weaving 101. No, we ain't wasting your schedule, none of that. You're going to take these hard classes so that you can go through here and be a doctor. And you're looking at everybody else that got to do all this other stuff. And you're like, well, why didn't I get to do that? Well, it comes out in the wash. And not that I'm celebrating doctors, because I know what they are too, for the most part. Okay. Mad respect for surgeons. I've always had a little bit of an issue with internal medicine doctors. I've always had a little bit of an issue with them, but that's my own personal thing. I'm gonna leave that off of here. That's enough. Enough said on that. Based on my own. Okay. Enough said on that. But that being said, y'all, yeah. So you have to listen to that something that told you to do something, because it's here to help you win. Go back to the image of the flow chart. It is here to make sure that you're not repeating cycles. You know what they call that? You know what they call bad programming? They call it you know what constitutes bad programming? Having something in there that's called a recursive loop. I'm talking to my engineers out there. I'm talking to my programmers out there. A recursive loop. You got a bad stub of code where the code just keeps doing the same thing. It keeps doing the same thing. Nah, rewrite that code. Nah, you're supposed to move out of that cycle and move on down to the completion of that program, or the complete execution of that stage. All right? Where my real estate people out there? When have you ever seen a real estate contract that didn't have a set of deliverables in it that had a closing? When have you ever seen a real estate contract that didn't have a closing date in it? It's got a closing date. The closing date is the end of the program. There's some things that you got to do to get to that closing date, which is the end of the program. If something doesn't get done, it could literally push that closing date back. Life is the same way. This is why you want to listen to your good realtor. You got a good realtor. You want to listen to them. Their job is to help you you said you wanted this. This is what you came into my office and hired me to help you do. I'm going to help you do that. I'm going to help you sell this home. I'm going to help you buy this home that you want. But if you're not listening to me and we're having problems, it's the same way. You can't blame your spirit guides if you're not taking the advice. When you get back to the ether, they're like, yeah, you got to repeat this. Yeah. And you're going to forget it. I told y'all, Matt don't like to do nothing hard twice. If it's hard, I'm going to knock it out the park, because I only want to do it one time. How many of y'all out there want to keep doing? How many of you out there, knowing whatever age you are, how many of you out there, knowing what you've been through in this life, want to come back here and do the same thing all over again because you didn't complete the task for what you were sent here to do? I know I don't want to go through any of that challenging stuff I've been through again. I don't want to do none of that again. Let me move on to the next phase. That is why it's important to listen to your spirit guides. All right, let me read some comments, y'all, and we'll get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video tonight. All right, let's see. Let me see. All right. Nikki says she loved this video. Thank you, Nikki, so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Indeed, I agree. I will allow help from my guides. Yep. Thank you, Cassandra. That's a great point. Green Tambourine said, the point I love is that they can see the whole board, the beginning and then end. So it is important to listen and allow the Holy Spirit to give us discernment. Exactly. 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 Pardon me, y'all. Have the ears to hear. That's correct. That's correct. That is correct. Y'all know what happened? Let me give you an example of what it looks like when you don't listen to your spirit guides. King Solomon, gifted with wisdom, But what it seems he forgot is that wisdom is that divine feminine energy, that feminine aspect of the Most High. Don't believe me? Go and read Proverbs chapter 4. It refers to wisdom as she. It seems that perhaps Solomon forgot that divine feminine energy known as the Holy Spirit today, but in the Old Testament was known as the Spirit of wisdom. They're one and the same. Okay? The New Testament says the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost. That's the New Testament. The Old Testament was wisdom. Same energy. Nothing new under the sun. It's called something different by the Greeks who wrote the New Testament, all right? The ancient Hebrews called it wisdom, all right? Perhaps he forgot that the spirit of wisdom only resides with you, only dwells with you, only rides with you for as long as you are following her instruction, her advice. Solomon didn't listen. He was given one thing. He was given one instruction that he did not want to hear. Leave them foreign women alone. They're going to turn your heart against me if you get with them. They're going to have you worshiping some false gods that are not the set that you came here with. And see, this is what people don't understand about these scriptures, okay? Everybody got their own set of gods. I'm not going to go through that again. I've gone through it too many times, y'all. It's in the book. It's in Micah, I think Micah, the 4th chapter. I've gone through it too many times. People don't want to hear that truth. Everybody got their own set of gods, okay? Why do you think they have something called reptilians and draconians and all of that? People hear that stuff and they just think, oh, they're bad. They got their own mission. They got their own set of gods. They're a different cosmic type of being. We're all on this planet in flesh suits, but you know them by their fruit. Okay? That's why he told them, don't look at the tree. He said, you know them by the fruit they bear. They got their own set of gods. Okay? Doesn't mean that they're bad. There's some high vibrational, I'm sure some high vibrational draconians and reptilians in there. Why? How do we know? Matt? Because some of us, quote unquote, Israelites, is some high vibrational Israelites, and there's some wicked than a mofo Israelites. Some wicked sons and daughters of Jacob. So getting back to the Solomon example, Solomon said, nah, man, B, these mommies like me. Don't get me wrong. I like my daughters to Israel. They fine too. But these foreign women, man, they hit a little different. I'm trying to see what they doing, yo. I'm trying to see what's good over there. Son, I'm going to tell you this one more time, son. If you go with them, they're going to turn your heart against me. They can't turn my heart against you. I got wisdom. Dummy, wisdom telling you not to go with them. You can't say I got wisdom when wisdom telling you. You can't say I got wisdom, so this thing ain't gonna happen. When wisdom is telling you this thing is gonna happen if you do it. Solomon got beside himself. He didn't follow the advice of his spirit guides. What happens? Toward the end of his life, he says, all that was vanity. All that was vanity. That's another great example of why it's important to listen to the advice of your spirit guides. All right? And for those of y'all that's on the fence, I've given you a number of examples in scripture where men of God, okay, men of the Most High, men that were close to his heart, who didn't know which way they good to go, they cast the lots, or they put on the ephod and use the Urim and the Thurim and the Urim and the Thummim, or whatever it's called, to inquire of the Most High which course they should take. You know what that's called? That's called that very thing that palm spitting pastor and people like him say you shouldn't do, divination. Them not understanding that prayer is divination. When I don't know what to do, man, let me pray. God, show me what to do. That's divination. You're accessing information outside of you. You're attempting to gain knowledge from outside of you to help you in something that you're trying to do. I don't know. I don't have the printed Bible in here. I haven't used one in a while, but man, I don't know which I need a word from God. I don't know what to read. Here, open up the Bible. Wherever it stopped, wherever my finger land on, that's what scripture I'm supposed to read. That's the same thing as flipping tarot cards. But y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready for that. So, why do I say that? If you high vibrational, if you're at the right frequency, that's another option you can do. But I'm not here to tell you to do it. You got to do what's right for you. Don't do nothing Matt tells you to do. Don't do anything Matt tells you to do. Do what is right for you. Tap into your higher self. I gave y'all this example a year ago of a year ago when I had a leak in my water heater and didn't know what it was. I had water in the garage. I finally got so frustrated. I went out there, I punched the freezer and said, it just came out of me. I didn't even think to say that. It came out of me. I said, Matt, show me where this water's coming from. Half a second later, my head turns. And my head turns and is fixated at the bottom of the water heater in the garage where I see a little bit of rust. And then I see the water. I had been seeing that water for almost a month. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like running. It just was, I'm like, it's something. I don't see any water spots on the wall or nothing. Like there's nothing. I don't have any leaking pipes. Where's this water coming from? It was annoying me. Is it coming in from outside after a hard rain? It was annoying me. And then finally, I just, bam, I punched the freezer in the garage. Matt, show me where this water is coming from. Boom, there it is. I was asking my higher self without even realizing I was asking my higher self. That just came out of me. Okay? So sometimes that spirit guide is your higher self. Sometimes it's one of your ancestors. I've had people tell me they asked their ancestors for ancient knowledge. They got it. Some of y'all, when you're cooking, a lot of y'all didn't know how to cook. I'm talking to my Cancer placements and my Taurus placements, especially. A lot of y'all didn't know how to cook. Capricorn too, because you're on that axis with Cancer, Capricorn, that axis. I don't know a Cancer, Capricorn that can't cook. I don't know one that cannot cook. They all generally good cooks. But anyway, and same with Taurus and Scorpio, but I'm gonna get an edge to the Capricorn, Cancer axis. I'm not biased. I'm just telling you I've eaten different people's food. It's what it is. All right. But anyway, those of y'all that cook, when you're cooking in there and you don't, those of you that don't use recipes, y'all know that's higher knowledge coming in. Y'all don't really know what to put. That's either past life knowledge or that's somebody from your spirit team, especially when you hear that voice. Like a lot of us, a lot of times I'm seasoning something, I hear something say, I'm cooking something and seasoning it, and I hear something say, all right, that's enough. That's enough of that. Okay, go and get some of this now. Who do you think that is? That's either, and even if it is your higher self, that's part of your spirit team. What you're looking at on the screen is only a fraction of me. When you look in the mirror, that's only a fraction of you. Your higher self is perfect. Remember that. Your higher self is perfect. It is your lower self that is imperfect, that is trying to come back into alignment. Y'all, I could harp about this all night because I love it, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to read some final comments and we're going to get out of here. Thank y'all so much. I got way off the road. Let me went back to, that was the last comment I showed there. All right. She said, Amen Green, have the ears to hear. We'll have to go back and listen to some of the older videos. That's right, Karen. I got a great library there. I'm just moving as directed by the spirit because I haven't counted them, but it got to be pretty close to 500, if not over that, the number of videos that I have total between live and pre-recorded. So this is why I'm kind of just letting the spirit direct me, and I'm going back and a lot of y'all didn't even know I had that video out there. So I'm being led by the spirit because we're at the end. We are at the end. We're at the end of an age and the beginning of the new age. 2 Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of the world to come. We're at that beginning of the world to come. This is why the dark side is spazzing out right now. They think they can stop it, but they can't. Whenever you try to stop prophecy, all you do is speed it up. They can't. They really doing us a favor by trying to stop prophecy. They doing everybody a favor by trying to stop it. What does the scripture say? Unless those days be shortened, there would be no flesh saved. I think when the reset comes, I don't think the Most High wants to have to reset all the human flesh on the planet either. So he's like, hey, let's speed this clock up. Because if we don't, these fools they think they got the power to tear this place up. Let me show them that they don't. All right, that's what's going on. We're at the end, y'all. We're at the end. But the end of the old is the beginning of the new. So I'm excited. I wanted to go. You can come right now. I'm ready. Doc, what's up, brother? He said, man, tell me about it. Facts, Matt. We can't do what others do, even if it seems simple or harmless. That is so true. I can't tell y'all the number of things that I wanted to do that were thwarted in my youth, in my earlier days. But now looking back, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. What's up, Red Jewel? Got you. That's all right. It's all good. It's all good. Jack Talcott. What's up, Jack? Thank you for joining. I tuned in late, but this is resonating with me. I know I've been called and separated from the world for some reason. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's up, Preston? Whenever I look at my natal chart, it looks like I came here on the short bus, and I know I definitely don't want to do it again. I'm telling you, I don't want to do none of that stuff. The stuff I went through that was painful, nah, we ain't doing that again. We're not doing that again. Spirit teaches us to slow down and listen to ourselves. Yup. I don't know about Scorpios and cooking, LOLs. My sister-in-law says my brother's a pretty good cook. He's a Scorpio. I grew up with him. He's good. He ain't as nice as me. He ain't as nice as me. He like, if y'all understand, y'all understand the Bulls, the late 80s, early 90s Bulls, early to mid 90s Chicago Bulls. My brother Pippen, I'm Jordan. I mean, he ain't watching this, so I'm gonna talk my anyway. But he knows it's true. He knows it's true. He can't touch me cooking. He probably nice with a recipe book. Your mans don't need a recipe book. Ask anybody that eats my cooking. You don't need a recipe book. And when you bite it, you smile. Huh? You might come in there frowning. When you're done eating a Matty plate, you smiling. You leave it happy. All right? Oh, man. Shout out to Bella out there. Bella, I know you. Bella got Taurus and Cancer in her chart. Bella dead nice with it. I seen some of her dishes out there that she put on her social media. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot, Bella. So I talk to my higher self all the time. Yeah, you have to. You have to, BE. Carrying babies, yeah. I could listen to you for hours. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. I really do. I really do. Story of babies, no one past life. Okay, thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me. Let me give y'all that real quick. Just because. What's up? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's up? You're welcome. All right, so let me tell y'all this story real quick. It ain't mine. So shout out to the person that shared this story with me. She knows who she is. But anyway, I was out shopping one day. And one of the shops I went into, it was kind of slow in there. There were two sisters in there. And believe it or not, that was meant to be. I was supposed to go in there at that time. We ended up talking about a whole bunch of spiritual things of a spiritual nature. And the funny thing with the baby story is one of the sisters shared with me that she and her sister were taking care of her mom in hospice. Okay. And then, hospice, y'all know what that means. Eventually her mom passed away. And she said her sister got pregnant. And her sister didn't know she was pregnant because she said, now I know this is kind of female talk, but I'm gonna try to get through it as best I can. It ain't my cup of tea, but I'm sharing the stories that was shared with me. She said her and her sister went on at the same time. Ladies watching, y'all know what that means. Fellas, if y'all got a significant other, you know what that means too. She said her and her sister went on at the same time. And she said she noticed, she said, "Hey, what's going on with you? Are you pregnant?" And she said, her sister was like, "Nah, I ain't pregnant." She said, "Yes, you are, because you and me out of sync right now." And she said, she said, well, she had a doctor's appointment. She said, when you go to the doctor's appointment, tell them to give you a pregnancy test. And she told her sister that she was, I think she said she told her sister she was 2 months or something, or some number of weeks. I can't remember now that part. That's the detail I don't remember. But anyway, she said, lo and behold, her sister was preggo. So she ends up, time goes on, she has the baby. Okay. She gets preggo after the mom passes away. She has the baby. Okay. She says, fast forward the clock 2 years. The baby's at her niece is now at her house. And so her niece is looking up at the picture on the wall. And the picture on the wall is the picture of the two sisters' mom. So she's looking at the picture of her grandmother that she never met. Okay. The baby now, the 2-year-old, is looking at the picture of her grandmother that she never met. Y'all, this story freaked me out. Not freaked me out really, because I believe it. I mean, I know this stuff happens, but it was just like I've never heard somebody's firsthand account of this. This is stuff you see on the internet or whatever. So she says her niece pointed up at the picture of their mom and said, "Do you know who that is up there on the wall?" Now, this is the baby's grandmother that she never met, because the grandmother passed away before the baby was even conceived. Okay. And she said that 2-year-old baby looked up at that picture for, I think she said maybe she just stared at for about 8, 9 seconds, 10 seconds, somewhere around there. And then she said, "Uh-huh." She said, "Hey, who's that up on, you know what that is up on the wall?" She stared. And she says, "Uh-huh." And she says, "Who is it, baby?" She said, "That's me." She said, that's me. And then her and her sister, the two sisters whose mom passed away, they started putting two and two together. And they said, that's why she says this stuff that mama used to say. So the 2-year-old baby has some of the same facial expressions, some of the same mannerisms, and at 2 was saying some of the same things that their mother said. So she left as the mother and came back as the daughter through one of the sisters. Y'all, you can't make this soul group stuff up. You cannot make it up. You literally cannot make this stuff up. That was the story. That was the story. Yeah, Karen, that was the story. Thank you for reminding me that. Thank you for reminding me. So yeah, this is how about that? How about that? How about that? And what I've heard is sometimes people are souls. I shouldn't say people. Sometimes souls, my scalp is itching, y'all. Pardon me. Sometimes souls incarnate, choose to reincarnate and play a different role within that soul group. That soul, because you got a soul family, you got a birth family, but you also have a soul family. Sometimes those souls come back to play a different role with different people, interact differently. You might be a daughter, you might be the mother next lifetime. You might be the mother, you might be the daughter the next time. Okay. So one of my homegirls in New York says the same thing about her daughter. She said her oldest daughter acts like she's her mother. And she said, I gotta wonder if she was my mom in another lifetime. Because she acts like she's my mother. Okay. And I don't want to put the daughter's name out there, but yeah. It's near and dear to my heart. Near and dear to my heart. Fellow Cancer Moon. She gets me. We hit it off the first time. The first time she introduced me to her daughter, we hit it off. So it's so cute. I made food, took it over there. Hadn't seen her in years. She was in town visiting family, and I was like, let me cook and bring some food over for y'all. So we went over there and everything, and then so this and y'all, that wasn't even my best dish, but the kids have not forgotten it. It's been 2 years now, and they call me. They don't call me Mr. Matt. They don't call me Uncle Matty. None of that. They call me Matt D. Talford. So they say to the mom all the time, Mom, they say, hey, you guys, I'm getting ready to cook dinner. And she said for the longest time, they were like, is it going to taste like Matt D. Talford's food? So I was just like, sorry, you just gonna have to hold that. That's what it is. But yeah. So anyway, I thought that was the cutest thing. But yeah, she said she feels like that is her mother reincarnated. Okay. And her mother, her birth mother is still alive, but she just feels like that was her mom in another lifetime. So y'all, this stuff is real. Sometimes you come back as a different role, but sometimes you choose to stay in the ether and be a spirit guide to those that are coming behind. That's how that works. So that's why it's important to listen to the spirit guide, especially if they're in that same lineage, because they know the mistakes that they made. And if you were sent here as the chosen one to break those, sure that you don't make the same mistakes. All right. Yeah. Yep. Nikki said, I just watched a video the other day with the same thing. Yeah, this stuff is real, y'all. This stuff is real. Hence old souls. Exactly. So y'all, that's all I got. Thank y'all for being here tonight. You guys are amazing. Y'all. I don't know. I don't know anymore, y'all. I don't know. Shout out to those subscribers that hit me up. Y'all know who you are. I'm not going to out you on here, but shout out to those subscribers that hit me up on Instagram and be like, yo, Matt, what's happening? What's happening, Matt? You ain't putting no content out there. You running dry. What's good? What's going on with you, Matt? Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all checking in on me, making sure everything's good. Everything is good, but y'all know our move is directed by the spirit. And I'm still tripping on the comments that are coming in on that Buddhist monk video that I did. So if y'all haven't seen that, y'all check out that was a good live stream. That was one of my favorite ones actually to put together. And you guys have shown your appreciation by the number of views I have. That one is probably the most viral video I've had. Even at 6,000 views, like that's not really viral to some people, but when you're averaging, when the algorithm is pushing you down, deprioritizing your channel, and you're averaging around 250, 300 views or so, it's nice when you see one that pops up and spikes like that. So it was cool content, some good lessons there. The comments are very interesting, so y'all check that out. But that's all I got, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here tonight. Listen, I'm going to end this one like I end them all. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. It's never too late. If you got breath in your body, you can tell somebody you love them. And the best way to tell them is to show them, right? Love is a verb. It's a noun as well. But the noun is empty if there's no action associated with it, okay? It's empty if there's no action associated. You can tell somebody, I love you. But if there's no action associated with it, it's empty words. So show it however you show it. But show it in a way that they feel it, okay? Show it in a way that they feel it, all right? And if you're new to the channel and you like being entertained, educated, uplifted, inspired, hit that subscribe button and make sure your notification bell is set to all so you'll be notified when I drop new content. Y'all, for those of you that are into spiritual guidance, tarot guidance, oracle card guidance, I got another channel, MDT 888 Spirit Guide. Y'all go over there and check that out. I just dropped a pretty amazing divine feminine read today. It was wow. It was very some very good guidance. Talk about spirit guides, right? Somebody's spirit guides came through heavy in that video today. So y'all check that one out. It's the most recent one I got over there. MDT 888 Spirit Guide with John 4 and 24 in the parentheses. So y'all check that out. And y'all thank y'all for riding with me from day one. Thank y'all for riding with me. Y'all are amazing. I got a cadre of y'all that show up at all of the videos, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all mean so much to me. I have no idea. I ain't gonna lie. There have been times when I've logged on and seen 2 or 3 people in the chat, or get up to 5 or 6. But there's a group of y'all that show up for everyone, and y'all are the reason why I keep coming back. So thank y'all. You know who you are. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for your love and support. Like I said, tell somebody you love them immediately. How do you mean it? You got to show it. Y'all show me all the time y'all love me by showing up. And I hope that I show y'all how much I love y'all by the energy I pour into these presentations for y'all. Okay? I want y'all to grow with me. I don't want to be seen as, I don't ever want somebody to see me as something I'm not. I'm here on this journey with y'all. Okay? Perhaps some of us even agreed to this in the ether. So I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all show up for me, I show up for y'all. And I'm gonna keep doing this until them Cadillac horns come out of that sky. When we hear them Cadillac horns blowing, they gonna be like, all right, y'all, it's time to roll out of here. Y'all done working. Y'all are done working. Jeremiah 30 and 8. Somebody about to be done working, and somebody else about to clock in. All right, which side are you on? You already know, I'm sure. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got. Listen, y'all check out my work as an author, www.talfordarts.com. Browse my collection of books. I'm sure you'll find something that interests you there. www.talfordarts.com. I love it when people read what I've written, okay? It's a static version of, well, it's not static. Energy is never static. So you open up my books and read, it literally sounds like me talking. I've had a number of people tell me that. They're like, Matt, why does that sound like you talking? It just is what it is, okay? Every author has a voice. Just like if you don't have to hear, you don't have to know who's singing the song to hear Whitney Houston singing. You don't have to see the thing on the screen. You're like, oh, that's Whitney Houston. You already know her voice. Same with Luther Vandross. You know the voice. Same thing. It's the same thing with any artist. Visual artist, they know when they're looking at a Rembrandt, at a Michelangelo, or whatever. The visual artist already knows what they're looking at, where somebody may not. Okay, so it's the same with every discipline. So I thank y'all. I thank y'all so much. But I'm gonna get off here because gratitude. Remember, gratitude. I said this on my other video on my other channel today. Gratitude is the quickest way to get into alignment with that version of you that exists on another channel, on another frequency. That version of you that has everything that your heart desires. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to come into alignment with that energy so that you can bring that version of you here. It's like tuning your car radio to a channel that is playing a song that you want to hear. You know that song is playing the channel. You got to tune to that channel to hear that song. It's the same way. You got to tune to that version of you that has everything that your heart desires. And your heart desires it because that version of you already exists and is trying to pull you into alignment with it. Magnetism, spiritual magnetism. Whatever your heart desires, it's because there's a version of you that exists that already has that thing. And that version of you is like, come on, come get in alignment. Come on. I know you want it. I know you want it because we're here. We're here. We need to be there. All right. Alignment. Everything's about alignment. I love y'all, man. Y'all have a great night. Peace, family.